New breeze, universal, ENT. Oh, yeah. It's your brother New Breed, back to you with another broadcast. And this one ought to be very interesting. I don't need no sources. I don't need no content to react to. Nah, this is right out the bone grizzle right here. This is straight up discernment, truth, the elephant in the room, all of the above. I see a lot of conversations on social media about the modern woman. I see a lot of people talking on both sides when it comes to what is our biggest plight when it comes to our social interactions between man and woman. What's the issue? I personally believe that the biggest issue that we're faced with today is the fact that people are not honest. I think it's the lack of transparency. I truly believe that the lack of transparency between man and woman is the biggest issue. And the fact that people either A, don't understand themselves, or they don't understand the people they're dealing with, because there's a lot of deceit out there. There's a lot of deception, a lot of mind games, a big battle for power. There's a struggle going on, right? Too many narcopaths and sociopaths out there who want to, reign and rule over a person's soul, and too many energy vampires, too many of those out there. Not enough honest people. And I can assure you that most women of this day and age, and this is based on analytical studies, facts, details, statistics, I can assure you that the issue is most modern women, they only want casual sex. That's it. When you look at society, how this infrastructure is at the moment, when you look at the work world, the workforce, what women have to do to maintain and succeed, when you look at this particular plight, when you look at what's going on, man, a lot of women don't want marriage. We know that because 70% of marriages end in divorce, initiated by the woman. So we know they don't want to be in a traditional marriage. We understand that. Most women, they just want casual sex. And you fellas, y'all got to get out of y'all feelings. Y'all got to get out of your feelings and start asking the right questions. You got to start finding out what your woman actually wants from you. This is some real red pill awareness that I'm about to give y'all today. I'm about to drop some jewels today, because fellas, it's up to you to extract certain insight from the woman. So it's up to you. A woman is never going to tell you. I mean, some may, but it's far and few in between where a woman is legit going to tell you, brothers, I just want to do my job. I want to work, hang out sometimes, and I just want you to come through and, beat them cheeks up every now and then. And, it is what it is. And they're not going to tell you that. And we just live happily ever after. I do me, you do you, I see you when I see you. And that's what I really want. See, here's the issue. Women don't know what they really want until you bring it out of them. And some ladies will be honest and be like, I don't know what I want. I've met sisters that say that, I really don't know what I want. That's cool too. Those are cool females. That's a cool chick when she be like, you know what? I don't really know what I want. I can work with that. And, I'm just telling the truth right now. And I'm telling it like it is. And what I'll do is I'm going to share the link in this chat today because I'm going to be making a few points. Some woman said that's disgusting. Where's your husband? Shout out to Ringo TV Reacts. Where's your husband? I'm going to wait for you. It's disgusting for a woman to have needs, deal with a man in her respective time. How is that disgusting? What's disgusting is just running around sleeping with it. It ain't everybody. Now, when I say casual sex, I'm not talking about a woman just jumping bones from one to the next. I mean, she links up with you, brother. You, casually. Y'all have a casual connection. She says, I need a man after my father. Where's this man? Where is he, I say? Have you found this man? I'm waiting. Yes, no, maybe so. Still waiting for a non-feminine man. So every man is feminine. So every man you see is feminine. Yo, you really cannot make this stuff up. That's your excuse. You're going to stick to that. That's your final answer. Where do you live? San Francisco? Where you meeting these men at? Where you at a rainbow parade? Where you going to meet these men at? Where you hanging out at? Gay clubs? What are you doing here? You haven't met a masculine man. No masculine men. Not one masculine man. That's what you're telling me. I know it's bad out here, but it ain't that damn bad. See, the issue is you don't know what the hell you want. And you're proving my point. The reason why you haven't found your husband, because you don't know what to look for. You don't know the proper attributes to look for. Honesty should be number one. What I'm talking about today is honesty. What I'm talking about is being transparent. That should be the first thing you look for in a man. A man who keeps it real, keeps it 1,000. That should be the first thing you're looking for. So let me tell you, I'm sharing a link because this is also disagreement day. And as I bring out certain points, and I'm going to validate everything biblically, because that's what I do over here. Yeah, I'm going to validate everything biblically. The time that we living in right now. First and foremost, the scriptures tell us in Leviticus 21:7, they shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. So the sister says she wanted a man after the father. Well, a man after the father is not going to take a woman as a wife who's been a whore or a profane woman. Neither is he going to take a woman that has been put away from her husband. See, a man after the Most High, after God, is not going to take anything less than a virgin as a wife. He's not going to take anything less than a virgin as a wife, according to the Bible. That list that the scriptures just listed, it eliminates, let's see, that eliminates 90% of the women in the United States. Stop me when I'm lying. It's too damn easy. That just took away 90% of the women in the United States. So these women have to have a place in a man's life, right? I mean, most women have been defiled. Most women have been defiled by prostitution in this time. Most women have had their whole phase. Most women are not virgins, and most women are out here. So you said you want a man after the father. Well, a man after the father been commanded not to take none of those women as a wife, but they do have a position if they in need of leadership, and it's called a concubine. A concubine. I want y'all to list one scripture in the Bible, just one, where a man of the Most High, who was a biblical patriarch, had a single mother as a wife. Show me one scripture where a man had a single mother as a wife. Just one. Y'all can't find one? Nope, it ain't there. And shout out to Ringo TV Reacts. I think I might have heard him say that. Not sure. But it's true. That's a very astute observation. See, we don't be over here taking people's talking points and not, shouting them out. I believe I heard it come from that brother. It was somebody. I believe it was Ringo. But it's true. When you look at the scriptures, it's not there, right? Here's the thing. Those women still have needs. They still have desires. But we're not supposed to take them as a wife. It's against the law of the Most High. But here's the issue. Here's the conundrum that we're faced with today. Here's the dilemma. There's a dilemma that we're faced with today. And this issue is a lot of women don't want to be honest. They don't want to tell it like it is. They don't want to say, hey, they just want some casual loving. A lot of these ladies, brothers, let me talk to you, brothers. Let me talk to you. A lot of these ladies don't want you all hugged up on them all the time. A lot of these ladies don't want you underneath them all the time. A lot of these ladies don't want to play their traditional role as a wife. Not saying all, but a whole lot of them don't want that. Familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt. Let's just be direct about this. A lot of people these days tend to be attracted to the version of yourself that is active, the version of yourself that is doing what you need to do, the version of yourself that is without them. Fellas, this is the world you living in. It's okay. And you'll find out that a lot of the time, some of the women that have a lot of baggage, have a past, dealt with multiple relationships, you'll find out that you as a man would rather take the version of her that's not underneath you all the time. You would rather take the version of her that lives apart from you. You would rather take the version of her that you met in the streets, opposed to trying to take her in as a wife. You'll find that out. A lot of these relationships will end in failure. Why? Because people just wasn't honest. When you met that person, you liked the version of that person you met. Y'all wasn't honest with each other. Say, you know what? Right here in this point in time, I'm happy. I'm not going to be pressured into moving faster than I need to move. I'm not going to be pressured by society to take another step. If I am happy with you at this distance, at this place, it's okay to deal with a woman from that distance in that place. Get out of your feelings. Some of you brothers get love sick out here and don't know how to do what you need to do for the Most High. You don't know how to finish your job and your mission. You got work to do, fellas. We got too much to do to be worried about being under the arms of a woman all damn day. I'm telling you, what I'm saying to you It's just the truth. It's just the truth. I know it's tough to digest, and we need to start a whole new movement. And this movement need to be women just straight up telling it like it is. Be honest. A lot of ladies out here just want the presence of a man, a masculine man, a man who can cater to their needs and their desires, and then they want to live their life in their happy place. That's cool. Because the same way they want casual D, I want some casual puss. Same damn thing. I'm just keeping it a buck. I don't want to be underneath you all the time. I don't want you blowing my phone up all the time. I don't have time for that. You're just going to irritate me. Matter of fact, I'm the type of guy, I will call you when I call you. I have things to do. I'm a very busy man. You cannot be the centerpiece of my life when I have such a great calling on my life. But if I like you and you give me good energy, good vibes, and you don't cause me no problems, I can work with you at a distance. But don't be blowing me up. When I call you, hey, it is what it is. And I mean, you see how easy it is for me to be honest? Thousands of people is going to see this video. Thousands. People are going to judge me for saying this. People are going to try to say that I'm being heretical, and you're going to have people that say I'm being sacrilegious. Although the scriptures tell you that concubinism is just fine in the Most High's eyes. David took concubines. I can go scripture, verse about taking concubines. And we'll do some of that in this stream. But they'll call me all these names, and I'm being honest with y'all, but some of y'all can't even be honest with the nigga you next to. Some of you brothers can't even be honest with the female that you sit next to. It's a damn shame. This is why I say one of the biggest issues we have in our community is people not keeping it real. Too many people playing mind games and manipulating people. There's some women out there, they only want your company, brothers. And y'all be doing too much. Fellas, you got to stop doing so much. You got to stop doing so much, fellas. You got to use your discernment. You got to read her body language. You got to know when to leave. You got to know when you stayed too many nights over her house. You got to know when to part ways. You got to know when to cut ties. You got to know when she need her time. Y'all remember that song back in the day? Don't take it personal. She just want to be all alone. And you think she doing you wrong. Don't take it personal. Hey, brother, stop taking it personal. You're going to run her away. That could have been a good child's mother. You can still have a baby with a concubine. Y'all could have always stayed. Think about it. Y'all could have always stayed in that place of understanding, that place of space, that place of peace, and still raise children together. Concubinism is real. We still got to populate. We still got to deal with our women. We still got to adjust to the times we living in. Yeah, that's the Monica jump. Brothers, you got to stop taking these things personally. Imagine staying in the right vibe, y'all's entire relationship. Not saying y'all won't have ups and downs. Not saying y'all won't have issues. But you would definitely minimize those problems if you're not always underneath each other. We got too much work to do. It's better when she miss you. It's better when she crave for your attention. You steal her head, you steal her lead, because the same angels that protect you, men of the Most High, those are the same angels that's protecting the woman that you are inseminating. The same woman that you are pouring your spirit and heart into. But too many ninjas be in their damn feelings. You want to lose a woman real quick? You want to lose a woman real quick? Keep blowing her damn phone up. Keep trying to come over there every night. Keep trying to keep checking up on her all day. Just keep doing it and watch what happens. I see Flora D and Rollo regular talking the building. What's good? It says, I'm glad to be by myself. Things are better. Absolutely. That's what's up. I'm sharing a link in the chat too. People can feel free to join on this conversation because if you do join, what I want to hear from the audience is, what do you believe is the biggest plight between man and woman? I personally believe it's honesty. I personally believe it's transparency. I personally believe that our people are not just being open and honest. And that's one of the biggest issues, in my opinion. And I'm not afraid to talk about this, man. Like, personally, I don't want any wives right now. It's 2023. We living in a modern culture. I done the whole traditional thing for at least 20 years of my life. For at least 20 years of my life, combined with, the women I treated as traditional wives. 20 years of my life. I'm done with that. I'm at an age where I'm going to enjoy my life. And I'm at an age where I have to accomplish certain goals and missions for my children, for my offspring. I have to accomplish certain things. So I cannot give you advice on the daily rigmarole of marriage in a traditional household. That wasn't my walk. That wasn't something that I was supposed to stay in. And I would never get on social media and try to tell you how to be the best husband and all that, because that's not what I'm on. I'm a man who only wants concubines. It just is what it is. I know myself. And I can be honest with the women that I deal with. And that's why my success rate is through the roof. I don't have no issues like that. I don't have too many issues because out of the gate, right out of the door, it's been honesty. From day one, I'm honest. I don't sugarcoat. I don't lie. I'm keeping it real. And I think that's what everybody need to do. And you'd be surprised, fellas, when you keeping it real with a woman, you don't ever know. You might, listen, when you keeping it real with a woman, bro, you just never know what will come out of her. Like, she'll tell you, like, damn, I just hit the jackpot. Woman be telling you she hit the jackpot because she like, you don't want to be underneath me like that? Hold on, you casual. Oh, and I still get to be in your presence, and we get to do this and do that. Every now and then we get to, go places and do, bruh, they good with that. And you not no insecure brother. You're not gonna be blowing me up. I'm telling you, bro. A lot of women are just looking for brothers who not weirdos, man. That's it. You'd be surprised how many women out here are just looking for a man that's just not weird, bro. And when I say weird, I mean just battling too many demons and looking at her like a mama almost, telling her your problems and all that. Look, we don't do that. This is why we gotta have a brotherhood. This is why brothers gotta be able to come together in the lion's den and build on various problems and various issues that we go through as men. This is why we gotta have brothers, man, because a lot of you brothers, man, y'all treating these women like they mothers, man, and it's weird to them. It's weird in general, right? But I haven't seen nobody click the link yet, but let's go over some of these scriptures. Judges 19:1. And it came to pass in those days, when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. Yeah, he was out there and he took himself a concubine. And now listen to this. And his concubine played the whore against him and went away from him into her father's house, the Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him. And a couple of, oh, man, what happened? It skipped. Let's go back. My screen just jumped. Dang, this is a powerful story here. And it says, and her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servants with him, and a couple of asses, donkeys. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodged there. So even back then, the fathers knew if a woman was playing a whore against even their concubine. We're talking about a concubine. We're not talking about a wife. The man, he went up to Bethlehem, Judah. He seen something he wanted. He approached her. He got her. He didn't take her as a wife. He took her as a concubine. But this woman played the whore against this brother. So the man basically excluded this woman, had her ousted for 4 months, put her on blast. And him and the father was still kicking it. Damn. Him and the father was still eating, drinking, having a good old time. Why? Because she played the whore in the father's house. So even a concubine is under law. You still supposed to be with that man. So when we talk about casual sex, that don't mean you're supposed to be roaming the streets. It don't matter how long it is before y'all interact or come together. I don't care about your needs. You done had husbands, you done had previous relationships. You gonna take the D as you get it. And if you go step outside that man, you would be ousted. If you go out here all lustful and horny, listen, first of all, you women are supposed to be trained to keep your damn legs closed. Straight up. Especially within those times. Man, they not ready for this. This is too deep of a lesson. All right, I can already feel it. They're not ready. You're going to have all kind of religious zealots jump up. I could see this one pissing people off, bro. You know why? Because they hate the God of Israel. They don't know the law. All these women be talking like they know the Bible. They don't know what the hell they talking about. It goes on to say, and it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart, and the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterwards go your way. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thy heart be merry. Meaning, you know, my daughter, she played us. She played this household. All I'm going to ask for is a little morsel of bread before you leave. Wham, bam, dap, you still my guy. You still my guy. Said, you know what, man, don't be content, brother. Don't worry about her. You did the best you can. You took her as a concubine. It was honorable. It was honorable for a man to take a woman as a concubine. Are y'all hearing me? Because this woman had been in them damn streets. And you seen something in my daughter that made her valuable enough to say, I'm going to take this woman as a concubine. And she had the nerve to play the whore. Brother, I'm sorry. Listen, let's eat and drink for the last time. Let's have that brotherhood. Let's sit among each other, congregate. Listen, brother, be content. Ride off into the night. It was an honor to take a woman as a concubine. Y'all women better start rethinking your position in life, especially if you claim that you in these scriptures, if you claim that you in the Bible. If you've been with another man, you are not supposed to be a wife according to biblical law. So what you gonna do from here? Be somebody's concubine and stop playing. It's better than you do that than you be for the streets. It's better that you be somebody's concubine than you be for the streets and you running around here getting tossed up. Somebody said share the link again. All right. It goes on to say, and when the man arose up to depart, he, oh man, it skipped again. Man, what's going on with this thing? Okay, here we go. Oh man. He and his concubine and servants, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, behold, now the day draweth towards evening. I pray you tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry. So, it was a big deal when a man took a woman as a concubine, because you got to understand, back in the biblical days, there had to be a dowry. There had to be a token of virginity. There was rules and regulations. We actually had culture. And if you took a woman as a wife, it had to be proven that she was a virgin. That piece of cloth had to break. The hymen had to crack. There had to be blood on that token. And that will be given unto the father to say, okay, your daughter was a virgin when I got to her. I'm going to take her as a wife. That's how it was done. But if that woman was for the streets, if she got out here and she was doing certain things, her value wasn't, I'm going to take you as a wife. I'm not taking no woman as a wife who's been with another man. That's not happening. Not happening. And I've learned that. I've learned that through my life. I've learned that, like, through life experiences, I learned that when women have been defiled by another man, they only could be at a certain position in your life. If they had multiple relationships, especially live-in relationships, if they had multiple relationships, they have certain spirits that they deal with. And a man without a lot of patience, like myself, don't have a lot of patience. I have too much to do to be having patience for a woman who dealing with baggage and demons and this guy and that guy, and she's having memories of this and memories of that, and she's holding on. I don't have time for that. And that's what I learned about myself. I'm not here to be your damn counselor. I'm here to be your leader. So I learned that about myself over the years. And you see how I'm being totally transparent with my audience, with my people. Y'all know me. My subscribers, y'all know me better than everybody. Y'all know me just like anybody else know me. Why? Because I read this book and I understand it. Somebody said, what if a woman is a widow? That's a different story. A widow with children or without. Because it's all about discretion. According to the Bible, if a woman is widowed, technically she can be a wife. She's not allowed to marry again until their husband died. The scriptures say a woman is bound to the law of her husband. This is the book of Corinthians. She's bound to the law of her husband as long as he so liveth. But if that husband be dead, she is permitted to marry once again. So to answer your question, if her husband dies, yes, she could be a wife. If she was married to that man, that was her day one, he ended up dying in some accident or heart attack or heart failure or whatever, he died, that woman can be taken as a wife. Now, when you think about all this, think about how slim pickings it is out here. Think about it. Think about all the stipulations and requirements it take for a woman to be a wife in 2023. These same rules apply. The Bible says God's law, his word is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. God's word don't change, y'all. Just because we in 2023 don't mean we can warp and distort, manipulate the word to fit our narrative in life. That's not how God works. This is not your world, people. Somebody said, what does that mean, low gang? I don't know what you're talking about, but this is disagreement day. And you don't have to come in disagreeing. You can come in adding to the conversation. We're having an adult conversation. I feel like a lot of people are being very apprehensive to click the link. I'm not here to attack you or none of that. But I think that some of y'all ladies are thinking certain things, and some of you fellas got things y'all want to add into because y'all living in this world just like me. You can share how you look at this thing. And we can line it up. We can line it up scripturally to see if it lines up with the word. Because it's like people, the world is so twisted, especially this Babylonian society. People don't know up, down, left, right. They don't know what sin is and what following the word is. It's like you got to throw the sword right down the middle and let them know what's what. There's more scriptures. Now, we are still in Leviticus. And let me go back real quick. We read 21 and 7. I want to read 21 and 6 as well. Oh, no, I read the right one. All right, so the other scripture I wanted to go to is over here. I got it. First Kings 11 and 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you should not go unto them. It's talking about Gentile nations. According to the word of the Most High, we're not supposed to be procreating with them because he's all about inclusion when it comes to the chosen seed. It says, neither shall they come unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. See, this is where Solomon went wrong. This is where Solomon went wrong. So every time you bring up concubinism, multiple wives, polygyny, or what have you, everybody want to throw Solomon up. Well, what about Solomon? Solomon failed. Solomon was told that he can deal with any woman in the world. The stipulation was don't go to the Gentiles, don't go to women from different walks of life, different nationalities, because the gods they serve is going to turn your heart away, Solomon. That's what the Most High told Solomon. Other than that, Solomon was able to take as many women as he wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, Solomon was able to take as many as he wanted. God had no problem with Solomon having many women and concubines. He had no problem with that. Like Solomon, have it up. You have a royal DNA. You have royal seed. You a king. Do what you do. Just don't go into the Gentile nations. This is where Solomon went wrong. They had Solomon so messed up. He was building golden calves in the middle of Jerusalem because them women was leading him astray. So when it comes to concubinism, when it comes to polygyny, when it comes to dealing with multiple women, you got to keep certain things in place, brothers. You got to have certain morals, certain ethics, certain codes that you live by. Like, hold on now. I'm not dealing with the no home rain gang kill, crystal ball, beads around the neck, burning sage type of women. I'm not dealing with the tarot card. I'm not doing that because I don't want my heart to be turned away from the Most High. I don't want to sojourn with those type of women because I know what God I serve. This is how it got to be. Yeah, no pagan women. You got to deal with women who got a strong foundation. Real talk. Somebody said multiple women equals a noise around your neck. Not if you know how to deal. Yeah, you don't want to just be dealing with any type of woman, even a Jake woman, even a melanated woman who is from the same diaspora can be a Gentile because why? She's serving other gods. She's serving other gods. So, fellas, I'm telling you, you gotta get out your feelings. I know I keep saying that, but for real, you gotta begin to adapt. All of the religious jargon that you hear on social media coming from various people, all of the dating coaches, all of these people, they're not going to tell you like I'm going to tell you. You got to focus on your goal. You got to move like you know what your damn purpose is. Let these women gravitate towards you. Stop getting in your fifi. Some of them just only want some casual play. They want some action here and there. Bring it out of them. Ask them the right questions. Bree, what are some of the right questions to find out if maybe I have a concubine? You know, what are some of the right questions? Well, ask them about their sexual habits. Once you get into a conversation with them, because eventually y'all gonna talk about sex, right? We all do. We adults, right? You talking to a woman, eventually conversation's gonna come up. Ask them what their sex drive is like. See if y'all compatible. Ask them, you know, what they like. See, here's the thing, man. We talking today. Forget all that religious stuff. Let me just keep it a buck with y'all, brothers. Look, you got to find out how she want it, man. You got to have adult conversations. Some of y'all brothers in the truth, y'all want to talk about Israelite doctrine with women. Y'all want to talk about scriptures with women. Y'all want to talk about, y'all want to keep calling her sis. She's not your damn sis. You need to find out how she want to be fucked. You need to find out how she like it to see if y'all going to be compatible. Need to be finding out what that body count hitting on. You need to be finding out what she like, what she dislike. You need to be making sure the sexual chemistry is right to see if this is somebody you want to deal with or not. Same thing with you ladies. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Why y'all sitting around talking about, well, yeah, sis, I was just here reading my Bible. I was reading Ecclesiastics. Second chapter, verse 3. Yeah, sister, we having Bible study today. I don't even talk Bible to women unless I'm commanding them something. Some women, they need a word in them. Some women, you got to sit them down. Look, babe, let me show you this scripture. This is why I'm telling you this. Keep it moving. It is what it is. But we're not sitting here having studies. I'm sorry. I don't have time for that. You want a Bible study? Go to my channel. Watch my channel. Watch my videos. And there you can get you a Bible study. But you brothers, what you going to do with your concubines? You ain't going to just sit there and look at them. Y'all going to be doing something eventually. You got to find out if y'all compatible. Y'all hearing me? Y'all get where I'm coming from. Even if you a brother in the camp, forget all that nonsense. You know why so much adultery goes on in the camps? You know why so much divorce goes on in the churches and the camps? Because they ain't talking like this. I'm your new marriage counselor. They're not telling you like this. And then what ended up happening is people get together because they thought the other one looked nice and they get together, but they didn't get to the real pertinent, crucial discussions. They never got there. They was too scared because the bishop and the deacon, we can't talk like that. Y'all being bad. Y'all can't, y'all grown ass adults can't talk a certain way. Y'all hiding and moving a certain way. Most High said, what I bring together, let no man separate. If it's meant for me and a woman to be getting it popping, then we gonna get it popping. I don't got to ask no man's permission. Of course, you can be respectful to the father if she has a father. But all in all, these women these days, they make their own decisions. I'm gonna teach my daughters, hey, when you grow up, you're gonna be making your own decisions. Don't make the wrong ones. But I'm gonna train them up in the way I would have them go so they don't depart from the faith. Do the best I can as a father to lead them. But at the end of the day, in this generation, these women make their own decisions. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, people be faking sexual attraction. This is truth too. This is truth too. You know how many people get set up in these churches because it makes sense, but they really not even attracted to each other. They haven't even had the right conversations or whatever. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. I just wish that we lived in a society where women would be honest. And you fellas, I'm wishing we lived in a society where brothers had more discernment and they know when to hold them and when to fold them, when to pay attention to a woman. Let me see. And if you're a woman in the chat who wants traditional marriage and growth, that's good for you. That's good for you. Not all women want that. Not all men want traditional marriage. Particularly men who've been there and adapted to society. Everybody's not the same. See, this is the thing. This is why honesty is key. Not lying to people goes a long way so people can make their decisions. You know how many people out there waste their time with people? Waste their time. Something you cannot get back. You can't get time back. You can't get it back. So if a person is being honest with who they are, you have to move accordingly as a person. But the problem is people don't give people the honor of being honest with them. They don't give them the courtesy to give them the decision to make. And I think this is our biggest plight. I really will argue that with anybody that this is our biggest plight. Just imagine a world where everybody was being honest. Picture that, ladies and gentlemen, for just 20 seconds. Like it was Jim Carrey, Liar, Liar. Y'all seen that movie? Just picture that with relationships. The world would change overnight. The people who's supposed to gravitate towards each other would. Everything would be syncrecy. It would be a utopia if people was honest. I'm going to share the link one more time, and I'll give it a few minutes. I've been putting in that work on both channels. Y'all know how I'm going. For those who don't know, YouTube had struck me on this channel, and they end up overturning the appeal, which I'm graced with that. That's just a blessing, bro. It was the Tupac video. They said it was hate speech. Then they turned around and re-uploaded it and made it age restricted. Let me see something. And yeah, I didn't even know I was struck because I was inactive from over here for like a few days. So let me show y'all this too while I'm waiting on the link. See, I want to show y'all this. It says, remember, if your channel has been restricted from using any YouTube channel, if your channel has been restricted from using any YouTube channel features, you're prohibited from using another channel to get around these restrictions. Doing so is considered circumvention. Under our terms of agreement, may result in the termination of your YouTube channels. You see that? So content creators, please, if you get struck on one channel, just stay off of YouTube until that strike is lifted. This is something they're not telling you. You may not even be logged in on the other channel, not even know you got a strike. So keep up with your emails. You get a strike, didn't know you were struck. You streaming, you doing your thing on another channel, and all of a sudden your channels get removed. Every YouTube channel get removed. That's crazy. That is crazy. Somebody said it keeps saying it ended. So people been clicking the link and it's not working. I'm gonna try to share it one more time, because most people be ready to come into the chat. Maybe people just can't handle this type of topic, but we'll share it one more time. Somebody said it says it's ended. Somebody said we should make our own platform. We actually have our own platforms. We do. We have our own platforms already. I guess it wasn't working all that time, because now people are joining. I had to redo it. I don't know. Amani, what's going on, family?
Hey, how we doing today?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. I can't complain, man. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good. I just got off of work, and you know,
I
I
know
was
that's
just
right,
listening
man.
to your conversation about how things be conducting in society today, and I kind of wanted to break in with that with you.
Okay. You got questions, comments, or concerns about the topic?
So, I think a concern would be is more like you said, the upfront honesty with women nowadays. You know, it's like I feel like personally, I feel like it's harder for them because it's like they have their own. It's like they have their own defeat. They have their own, like, how do I explain this? They have their own challenges because it's like you have social media and social standards for them, and it's like they have to put up a certain facade or a certain like display for them in order to even feel like they're a part of something or feel like they're even doing something. So it kind of I feel like it's harder for them to even reach out to men because the saying goes, you are who you hang with. And it's like, if they're all hanging out with the whores and the whoremongers, you can't really pick the needle through the you get what I'm saying. So
No,
it's like,
yeah.
I feel like that's one concern. And then another one is I just think just the honesty with the men too. I think brothers out here, we need to stop letting social media and we gotta stop letting social narratives destroy our own narrative as our own, because they're putting out on the forefront how we is, but in reality we act in another way. We could change that custom. We can actually change it and make ourselves look predominant. Being melanin, it breaks my heart every time seeing our people put on a display, and in reality that's just not the case. So I feel like it's a lot of fear too. That's
Mhm.
what comes with
Right.
developing and building relationships out here nowadays. So it's like that's really what my
That's
answer
right.
is.
That's real talk. Yeah, at the beginning, you started off by saying, man, ladies have to basically appease to a certain image, if I'm,
Yeah,
deciphering that properly, because of how they feel. See, you see how that went? They don't really have to, but they do it because of how they feel. So it would be a safe assumption to make to say, as men, leaders, we gotta get rid of them fifis. We gotta shake them from the core and be like, listen, get out of your feelings. First of all, stop living on social media. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to fit in with society. Don't let society push you to do something that you're not even ready for. Because you got a lot of ladies out here who get married just because sister, auntie, cousin, they like the wedding, and it's all superficial.
Right.
And we gotta basically break those feelings and break it down to them. Now it's up to the women to take heed to sound doctrine, brothers who speaking the truth. But one thing we cannot do is bend and bend at their whim and let them keep behaving this way. So
Right.
I know as a young man, you working, you out here hustling, doing your thing. Don't accept nothing less than your law, what you're saying, because you can see these things in society. Not a lot of people can see it. So that's a blessing that you know that social media along with social engineering have a lot to do with why these women are doing what they're doing and how they moving. We got to break that spell and break that curse. And it really starts with us brothers letting them know what it is. If we're honest, they ain't gonna have no choice but to be honest. Even having a conversation like this is gonna open up a can of worms for other people to talk about it. Like, dang, that's how it starts. We got to be Renaissance men, not be afraid. When the Almighty puts something on our hearts, let's say it. Even though we're living in a society that's trying to emasculate us, they're trying to stop us at every turn from speaking our mind and being outright and being dominant and authoritative. They don't want to see that out of us. But we got to keep on carrying the baton and speaking and crying aloud, sparing not.
Amen.
No doubt. Amen. No doubt, fam. Like you brought some real insight. I didn't think about it with social media, but you brought that to the forefront. I got other guests in the queue, so man, you feel free to come on anytime, bro. Hey, how long have you been watching the platform?
I've been watching you. Well, so I moved up here to Kentucky about 3.5 years ago, and I started watching you after actually I got dumped, and then I felt sad. Started watching you, and I ain't switched up since. So, but it's great work, man. Great work, and great things that you're doing, man. Keep blessing the people. Keep striving for greatness, bro.
Absolutely.
Represent the Flyers for real.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your time, fam. Have a good one.
One love.
One love. Peace. All right. It's a good call. Good call. All right. We're gonna bring in I think it says Charity Ivy. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, New Breed. I was chatting earlier with you. I just want to ask one question. I love your platform. I've been watching for years before I joined. I'm not really on social media like that, so I didn't know how to do it. When I did it, it was actually with an accent. I was like, oh, I'm finally a member.
Yeah.
I love your honesty. I just want to ask you, as a woman, I'm saying I agree with a lot of stuff you're saying. And like some of these people that you be talking about, I don't even know them. I was raised very strictly in the church. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, like I said, I wanted a man after my father. I saw how my father treated my mom for 40 years. How my granddaddy treated my grandma, who just passed at 105 years old. I've been in the church. I held my virtue. I went to college, and graduate school, and graduated. Was coming out to work. And I'm an older woman. I'm not older, but in my 30s. And I was violated 9 years ago. I was mad with God. Because when I was in high school, pregnancy was rampant. Everybody was giving it up. My grandma said, don't show nobody your cookies. And I didn't. People that say, oh, she thinks she's too good. She thinks she all that. She's churchy and all that. I was very religious. But I'm not in the street. Does that make me a concubine? I missed out on a lot.
Now. All right, so I'm gonna ask you, are you saying that's how you lost your virginity?
Yes.
By somebody violating?
Yes, a man in the military shoved me in my apartment. I had a locked gated apartment, but somebody else let him in. And I didn't know who was at my door. I couldn't see. They closed the thing. And I went to see if they was gone. I got shoved in my apartment. He was prosecuted. That was 9 years ago. But I was mad with God. I'm a grown woman. My gynecologist, when my mom used to take me, did not believe that I was a virgin. And when I went to Christian school in Virginia Beach for my master's, I got dual master's in law, government and public policy. I'm going to join you in anything I can to help build.
Right.
I'm getting my studies in y'all for women. I'm studying right now to pay and do my thing. But does that make me a concubine?
No. First of all, let me say this. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's, I couldn't imagine, and I hate to hear things like that. And know that doesn't make you a concubine. Sometimes in these discussions we have to use discretion. Now, that's a person that was a wild animal. That was a person who, did something outside of the norm, right? And when I say outside of the norm, that doesn't happen too often with our women in this generation. They running around here. They running around here just, I mean.
I know. I see your platform. I see some of the stuff like the last platform you just did. I don't even know who that was. It was disgusting. That was me saying, ew, that's disgusting.
Right. No doubt about it. And
I wanted to be married. I still do. But like I said, it's a lot of feminine men now. I'm looking for a man. You're a man. I see you. I'm on your platform. I follow you. Been following you for years before I even became a member.
See, but that's why you're supposed to slide in my DMs, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, no disrespect.
No, I hear you. Somebody actually hit me up last week. I thought I sent you a message, and I didn't think it was you, but they had your little end thing. I asked, but nobody replied. So I said, that ain't him.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. That WhatsApp thing that's in the chat, that's a scammer. I try to block them all the time.
Okay, so somebody hit me up 3 times, but I didn't respond. I said, that ain't him.
Right, but no, the best way to reach out is Instagram. We'll go from there. But and that actually points to something else as well, because a lot of times on these platforms, and social media can be used. Like I would recommend that people in the chat, y'all see faces that y'all know, like, man, exchange contacts, man. Like, if we supposed to be like-minded people, right?
Yeah, and McDonald up in your chat. Some guy McDonald hit me up in your chat, but I don't know what happened to him. So, because you said that we have to go after things too, and I never thought about that. Because I was raised in the church, like I said, I was told to wait and choose until you told me that day. So I was like, hey.
Right, I understand, but it's a lot of it's a lot of
no cookies.
That's good. You don't need to until you have the right circumstances to do so. But like if you want something, and I'm speaking to the chat right now, ladies in particular, if y'all interested in a man, if y'all go into a clothing store, you see a bag you like, you're gonna go, hey, can I get some help get that bag? It's the same thing on social media or in person. Like, we're living in a different time. Women outnumber men almost practically 30-1. That's a lot. So, a lot of brothers don't be knowing what's going on until a woman makes herself available and present. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, your story.
I have a problem with a lot of guys. They see me and they think they can approach me because I'm clothed.
Because you what?
I'm clothed.
Oh, because you're not out here all ratchet. That's what you're saying.
Hi, Missy. Hi, lady. All right, my lady. You have a good day. And I'm like, hey,
You still a woman now. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's kind of cute.
Right. And that's another issue.
Approach me and I try and break that, but I don't know if it was part of my upbringing or just the way I carry myself. But I'm scared. I'm acting a little scared after what happened to me. So I'm very. I got hurt, and I was mad with God too, because I'm like, I could have gave it up when I was, and everybody else was giving it too. That's what I was saying in school. Everybody's doing it. I mean.
Yeah, I understand, and I get it. A lot of ladies out here feel a lot of pressure because, the thoughts are getting attention. Let's just be real, and this is why I talk to men and let them know, look, brothers, we got to start starving out the modern woman who on social media showing herself all scantily clad all over the place. Because if we stop giving them attention, we're going to see more women covering up, man. So, it wouldn't be no OnlyFans, no IG, none of that stuff if it wasn't for these wicked 2/3 guys supporting it. So when you see brothers that's not on that side of things, that's who the lady should be gravitating towards. And you know, hopefully you and I could talk more behind the scenes or whatever, and we can go from there. But
I can still look forward to marriage then, right?
Right. So let me explain something about concubinism. A man can take a woman as a concubine, and then at a later time he can actually pour into her and decide to make her a wife. He that can happen too, but that's just another discussion for another day, though. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But thank you for your time, and keep doing what you're doing. God bless you and your family.
All right. God bless you too. Thank you. All right. Yep. We're learning some things today, y'all. All right. I'm going to share the link once again. We need adult conversations like this, man. People from different walks of life, so we can get an understanding on what are the barriers? Like, what is stopping us from coming together? What is stopping us from breaking the barriers, man? Empress says this is a great topic. Always. That's what's up. Stephanie says she is in agreement. That's what's up. Now that woman clearly wants to be a wife, right? She's clear about that. And she gave her reason and why. And she was very bold and transparent with giving her testimony. But a lot of women don't do what she just did. They're not bold about it. A lot of people repress a lot of things that need to be brought to the open. And I think her testimony helped other ladies too. Solitude, thank you for the contribution. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Tatiana says this is a great conversation. That's what's up. That's what's up. And you know, she wants to be a wife, but imagine how many women out there don't want to be a wife, but they're not telling you that. Because I can assure you, ladies out here, brothers come across a lot of women that they want to wife up. There's a lot of brothers that come across a lot of women that they want to wife up, but a lot of those women are deceptive and they really don't want to be wives. So brothers got to be on their P's and Q's. Brothers got to make sure they're not in their feelings. Brothers got to make sure they on point and game type. What's going on, Miss Danica? How you doing?
Hey, Shalom Nabik. I'm
Hey,
doing good.
on? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, do you have I can't really see you. Okay, cool. Questions, comments, or concerns about this topic?
I have some comments. Like where I'm from and where I live, these men are not leaving here. And so it's like,
You said they're not what? Could you repeat that?
I said, these men are not leading.
Leading. Got you.
Yes. From my past relationship that I've been through, I have got no respect, just been mistreated. And I'm a genuine person, and I mean well for the relationship that I be in as well. But it just seems like the most thing and the important thing that I think that women like myself deserve and should have, and when they get into a relationship, is the respect of a man.
The respect. Let me ask you, the men that you were involved with in the past? Were they honest with you from the beginning? Because I want to make
No,
sure it goes in line with the topic. I want to make sure we on the same page. Were they deceptive?
oh, very deceptive.
In what ways?
Just straight liars and deceptive. Not honest and open. Not too much communication going on. So what I've gathered and found out, what he showed me, what he is to be, was a straight demon.
Okay. Now, would it be safe to say that when it comes to people in general, there are telltale signs that we can see from people that we know, hold on, this might be a red flag? Is that a safe assumption to make?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, the reason why I proposed that question to you is because we as people in general, all of us, we got to understand that accountability go a long way. Not just with reconciling the past and the traumas and experiences that we have, but it goes a long way towards the future. So we don't make the same mistakes, because we all are at fault to some degree. So with the past, only thing we can do is have a takeaway from it. And when you see, like, let me give you this, it has to be like night and day. If you met those guys in a club, bar, this, that, and the third, then the next time you meet a man, he need to be in a, he need to be head in the scriptures or something. He need to be, you understand? So
Yes.
we got to learn from our past and let it dictate how we move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree totally with you. That's why, like, I've been single for 6 years, and I just been by myself, and I've been enjoying my life as well. But the thing is, with this past relationship that I had with this person, is just that they seem like as if they cannot leave me alone. Because once he showed me who he was, I decided to walk away.
Right, I understand. Well, hey, there is a such thing as being unequally yoked. you know. But thank you for your testimony as well. I'm pretty sure that there was some insight that was gathered in the chat. I got a couple more guests that I want to let in, and I'm coming close to my time restraint. So thank you for joining the conversation. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Shalom.
Shalom. All right. So before I bring in the next guest, so the topic of discussion is honesty, transparency. We're talking about the plight of our people. What is keeping us separated? If you see something else out here that's really keeping us downtrodden, keeping us from building, me personally, I believe it's honesty. I believe that's the biggest problem. That's just based on life experiences. I just know that honesty goes a long way. But if you see something else within our community that you could bring forth to the table, as well as if you're in disagreement, if you believe that New Breed is being sacrilegious, talking about all most women want is casual sex, because look at the title. We're having a deep, insightful discussion, but the title is modern women, most modern women, not all, just want casual sex. If you're in disagreement with that, prove your point. Come with some educated analysis to refute what I brung to the table, and we can go from there. But next guest we have is Jalen. What's going on, Jalen?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great over here. I was just I was listening as I was cleaning up, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect topic, because I just made a video on my Instagram story talking about like a lot of women don't like the honesty, even if they might try to say like, "Oh, can you be honest with me?" And so I've been really honest since my relationship ended like 2 years ago, and I noticed it's way less women that I got getting now being honest than when I was just beating around the bush. And
wow. Hey, let me add something in with that. You know what? Women know how to put on a real game face too. Like, let me give you an example. If you keep it a buck with a woman, she may seem like she's deterred, and it's just a little jewel right here. Be like, literally, it has to come a time where you reach a level where you could be unapologetic, and even on your countenance, it shows you don't care. You spoke the truth. There's a level of respect that comes with that. Yeah. So not only you just told her the truth and you like, oh damn, you anticipating her to go away from you. You anticipating that woman to be like, oh man, you know, I done just ruined it, bro. You know. But if you'll be surprised with, you know, standing on your word, dude, bro, with some women. And like I had found the need to tell you that, because I'm telling you, some of these ladies, you keep it real with them, they may be mad. They might not call you for a week. They might disappear for a minute. They might give you a screw face, but when they be like, man, this dude really don't care. He is who he is. They're gonna respect it. They have no choice.
That's true. That's true. Sir. I agree, because like I noticed, like it's a repetitive pattern where sometimes, honestly, I will find that the best girl that's for me, it usually never be the one that I really sexually desire the most. I'll be like, you know what? This is the type of girl where I'm kind of like, you know, she's cool, but she's a real cool, genuine person. The conversation is amazing. The eye contact is there. Like, she's very cooperative. But the one I'm really sexually into, that's always the one.
Wow, you an honest brother. You faced with a dilemma there, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And see, but I'm pretty sure, like, where you located? Like, what city you in?
I stay like an hour from LA. I live in Palmdale.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of women in LA.
Yeah, it's like a lot of Hispanic slash, you know, like all different types of flavors, I guess you can say. But
a lot of them are on that they on a different move. They move kind of different out there. But
like I ain't gonna lie, like I'm on dating sites and they straight up mainly on demon time. Even the religious women that would say like, oh, you know, they about the word of God and stuff, and I'm like, okay. So they'll follow me on Instagram, and I'm always like preaching stuff, and I'm speaking the real truth. They always have some type of issue with what I gotta say, though.
Right, I believe you, bro. I definitely believe you. So, man, so would you need a balance, a woman who's fair, you know, you know, fair in her looks, but at the same time, you know, y'all got good chemistry. That's gonna come, brother. A lot of times, you know, we just gotta be patient as men. Sometimes the Almighty don't put what we want in our lives because there's certain things that we gotta work out. Certain things that we gotta work on ourselves with, or maybe certain endeavors that we gotta get involved with, and then he'll start aligning things for us.
That's true.
So that may be the issue right now. I don't know. I'm just speaking, you know, out of wisdom, out of experience. And that may be the issue right there. Maybe it's good to have quote unquote female friends or female contacts that you can talk to. Every woman, and see, but a lot of brothers think every woman in your phone you got to be smashing like that. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to be like that. Some women you learn from to set you up for the woman that you're gonna be leading in the future. Certain insight they're gonna give you, knowledge that you get from a woman that you may not get from another brother. You know,
that's true. That is true. Like that. You know what? I'm gonna note that, because I was getting to a point where I would listen to even some worldly man like on YouTube. I'm not gonna say their names. And like they got, you know how you can kind of chew the meat but spell out the bone, but eventually my spirit was kind of like getting digested too much of it, and it was almost like I'm starting to want to act how they are, and so that's why my spirit was like, that's not you. You know, like you gotta just do who be you. Like, and I would try to get all these different type of women. I'm like, that's not me. Like, I know who I am.
Exactly.
Like,
as long as if you in that friend zone and it's on your accord as a man, like, you know what I'm saying? There's no issue with that.
Yeah. That's
But we need balance as brothers too. There's some women that has been supportive of my platform, supportive of what I do, and we just friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I got love for them, but it is what it is. But yeah, you gotta be careful with some of these red pill guys out here. They have you, you know, some of these guys, you gotta understand, they ain't nothing but incels that have gotten a voice. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, a lot of them are real hateful towards women. They don't have the spirit. So, you know, always rightfully divide using a word. You know, you can't really go wrong with that. That's the real red pill.
That's true. That is. It really is. Like, the truth is, it really cut through, because every time I listen to one of your videos, like, I've been watching since I think like before 2020, so maybe like 2019. And when you would do videos outside, and I was always like, man, like, you know, you can feel, even when I was in a toxic relationship, I'll be digesting a video, and it's crazy how it all led up to like where I am now. And it's like, that's how the truth is. It's just like, it's almost unexplainable how great it is. Like, that's how I had to realize it.
Man, all praises to the Almighty, and I thank him for giving me utterance. And I thank brothers like you for supporting the work. And thanks for your time as well, man. Feel free anytime. I'm glad you subscribe to this platform, because I will more so do panels on this side than on a major channel. Because we in the building process, and shout out to all the day ones out there who are here. But thank you, brother. I'm gonna do probably one or two more guests, and then I'm gonna head out. But thanks, man. Feel free to join anytime.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Peace. Yeah, that's a good brother right there, man. I'm still waiting for the ladies to dispute that, you know, most women don't want casual sex, but they not. So maybe that proves. And that's a big dog out there, bro. Just walking. My bad, y'all. Look like a king corset. But anyway, I'm right in front of a window. If y'all wonder why my eyes be shifting, I just be looking at what's going on out there. But maybe that proves my point. It proves my point that, you know, women gonna be quiet for this one. Like, you know, the ones who oppose, they like, you know what, I can't even argue with it. That means I'm doing my job. Y'all know y'all don't want that dude under you all the time. Some of y'all know y'all can't handle it. Y'all can't even breathe. Brothers, get out your feelings. Every woman not meant to be no wife, bro. Especially in this society, they don't even qualify. They don't qualify, bro. They don't qualify. And you want to be underneath them. They know they don't qualify. Ain't that crazy? You treating her like wifey. Can I? Hey, what's that song? Damn, I was about to sing the wrong song. Damn, it's a Jagged Edge joke. Whatever, man. Y'all treating them like wifey, and they know they ain't no damn wifey. They looking at you like you weak. They like, why you treat me like I'm a wife? They know they ain't no wife. You just doing too much, fellas. Get out your feelings. But anyway, Kat, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm doing well. Good to meet you. What you got for me? Question, comment, or concern regarding this topic?
Really a concern about you know, I watch you all the time. Nice little while. But we're your big platform for a nice while.
Okay. You breaking up just a tad bit? You happen to have headphones in or something like that?
No.
Okay, it sounds better now. Let's see if we could work with it. Let's go.
Okay, I was moving around. Yeah. I just want to share my little testimony. I was in a 13-year relationship with someone, and you know, I followed this man. He was my best friend before then, like 7 years prior, and I'm not no angel. We used to hustle on the block. We used to, I was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wasn't out there as a woman giving myself away. I was just out there as a thug,
Right.
And me and him went through a lot together, and we went through he was going through things and I was going through things, and me and him finally hooked up as best friends and had a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the things that I had through in my life, and him also, I just wanted to be there for him. I want to show him that there is good women, because he always did respect me, and gave me the best respect, whatever. And once I got into that relationship, it was a total different thing. It wasn't any kind of leadership. It wasn't any kind of understanding. It was, like they say, the typical man, just doing things,
Right. And y'all were friends for how many years?
We was friends for maybe 7 years prior to our relationship. I was like 29 and he was like 30 when we did get together. We was like
Right.
17, 18, hustling on the block,
So, with 7 years, y'all didn't have no type of physical connection.
No, not at all. He used to spend the night to my house, fall asleep on the couch. It was nothing. I never gave a kiss. It was never nothing because I stood on what, we friends.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Within those 7 years, are you saying you didn't know him within those 7 years, or things just didn't go as expected after being physical? Or the act, let's just be adults, or the act itself wasn't what you expected?
The act, like the dealing with him?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't about that.
Okay, it was about how you acted afterwards.
Yeah, it was about the cheating for no reason and the disrespect. He brought women into my home, into my kids' home.
So let me ask you: when y'all was friends, you never seen him doing anything like that?
No, because the little friends he had, it was like little bitty relationships. It wasn't nothing fully with a house and a wife and kids and family things. It was just maybe a couple of little hit and quit or whatever. Because he was always at my house, I guess, trying to get at me.
But listen, you hear what you just told me? You seen him hit and quit before. You see him hit and quit women, right?
Yeah.
You seen that. Men don't. Somebody in the chat says people change, King. He didn't change. So what are you talking about, Empress? He didn't change. If she witnessed him hit and quit, there were certain red flags that she had to see within a 7-year period. And I'm not talking like you're not here, ma'am. I just had to clarify something. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, we gotta just look at certain red flags and take accountability. Sometimes we gotta take those L's and be like, dang, not saying that I'm excusing his behavior, but he did show himself.
Yeah.
He showed himself. And now that you're more wise, you've grown, you just don't want to make the same mistakes.
Yeah. I definitely.
And this is why I talk about honesty. Like, we got to be honest, not only with each other, but we got to be honest with ourselves too. And when we get to that point, when we meet somebody, it's nothing like two honest people when they meet each other, and they have the right vibe and the right energy, and they both honest. There ain't nothing like it. It's perfect syncrecy. It's balance. It's harmony. And as long as you, looking for the right one, serving the creator, doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that person will come.
Yeah. And I can say it's just his fault. I take my own L because in the midst of me being with him as the years went by, I stopped praying hard like I used to. I stopped giving God what he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
It was my fault. I'm not just blaming him. but I was expecting a man that was in my life for so long to lead me in the right way. But I said it before, what, I'm going to follow him into a ditch? No. You know,
Right.
so it was my fault too. You know, I'm
Yeah.
just looking for a good man, a good leader, a man of Yah, you know, to lead me in a certain way. I've been getting myself together. I've been getting myself right with God. And, you know, I just want to be with like-minded people and, you know, get out there. Because it's been 2 years and I just been getting closer to God. These 2 years been getting closer to God. I don't even look at no man because it wasn't on my mind to do that.
Okay. Well, that's understandable. Well, you know, you stay plugged in, you grown. It is what it is. We leave those things in the past and keep moving forward. But thank you. I appreciate your testimony, and I want you to have a wonderful afternoon. I think I'm gonna do one more guest. Okay. Feel free to join anytime. Hey, how long you been watching the channel again?
2 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you've been around for a minute. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, peace.
All right.
All right. All right, so we're gonna do one more guest. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, I know everybody want to get their testimonies, but you know, we're not gonna do testimonials. I want y'all to kind of stay in the confines of what the topic is. Modern women, most of them want casual sex, man. That's what we talking about, man. Is it true? Am I wrong? Am I lying? Can anybody disprove me? I really hope the last person is disagreement. If it's not, it's not. That means I done did my job thoroughly. Let's see, we got a brother Casper. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man?
Man, I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I just got off work, fed my dog, so everything good now.
Cool. Blessings. What's going on with you, fam? Comments, questions, or concerns about this topic?
Yeah, I think for the men, I think, you know, we need to stop stop feeling down and stop thinking, you know, we could live up to the world expectations. Cause like I tell my homeboy, cause like I'm a young man, I'm like, I just turned 25, got my own crib, car, everything, you know, trying to put money in this way, plan it, trying to stack some money over here, plan it. And even when I meet some chicks, they still be like, you know, it ain't enough. And like on the average dude, you know, sometimes it'll kill our ego. But then when you remember, like on this, I call it satanic media, like the delusion is so crazy. It's like, even if you a Superman, it still wouldn't be enough. Even if Christ came back right now and said, hey man, I came back from people, they'll still, you know, like nitpick you know, they want what the celebrities got, you know, they want to travel, you know, they want to meet you today, travel the world by next week. And it's just all messed up around here, man.
Right. Hey, what city you in, bro?
I'm in Florida. Oh
yeah, you're in Florida. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you right. There's a lot of unrealistic expectations in general out here. You right about that.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, what I was gonna say is that those women just ain't the right ones. They just ain't. Those are the ones you got to avoid at all costs. And you know, there's always a woman that's gonna be there. I don't care if you rich, poor, in the streets. There's always gonna be some woman that's there. I done seen brothers pushing cans in a cart with a woman beside them. So when you think about that optic, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that before? Because I have.
Yeah, because I see like around my job, it's a little homeless couple.
Yeah.
But
she right there with them though, right?
And I always say, like, look, they, even though they at the low, she's still rocking with them. And like the piggyback talk what the last sister said, it's like, you know, when you meet some chicks, like me, I barely talk. I just let them, you know, speak for themselves. Like, and in my head, I'm like, okay, you been through that. He did that. I don't even do half what you was talking about. And then like, you know, they say, yeah, I'm all this, I'm a loyal, this and that. And like one little hiccup with you, but like they'll jump ship immediately.
Right. That's because those are the wrong women. You know, there's women out here who are opportunists, and you just want to avoid them at all costs. The way we look at things as men, sometimes we attract some of our fears of what we don't want. I'm pretty sure you don't want no woman that's just an opportunist, wants you for this, that, and the third. But if you think about that example I just gave you about, man, there's people pushing cans, they got a woman by their side. Yeah. Surely if you're a man of the Most High, you know, you doing what you doing, you got your own crib, you doing your thing. Surely there's women out there for you too. It's just that you got to know how to maneuver to attract those type of women. Sometimes it's the places we frequent. Sometimes it's how we looking at things. There's always going to be women there in our lives as men. Even when we just focusing on doing our thing, that's when they really be coming. When we be like, you know what? I got things I need to do. I'm trying to stack up something. I'm trying to make some things shake. A lot of times that's when they start really coming. So, you know, you just be patient, keep on working on yourself, do what you do. Women are going to be there. And, you know, and it's also not a race for us brothers, man. We're not racing at all, man. We can procreate all the way until we in our 80s.
Yeah, and I think
we're not on a time. We're not on a time span. The women are. Yeah. They got to get right or get left, right?
Yeah.
So hey, that's the mentality we gotta have. Either they gonna get right, they won't have a time span. If we taking care of ourselves, doing what we need to do as men, we good for a long time. And our value grows with age. The older we get, the more valuable we become. Just make sure you don't get one of them opportunists who just want you for your bread and what you got going on.
Yeah, man, it's a little tough. You know me, I'm a family man, because my father, he had a family. He had 5 children. So and like I don't have nothing at the moment, but every time when I'm about to, you know, maybe let me give it a try.
You on social media? Where you meet the women you meet or date or whatever, where you meet them at? Social media or in person?
Well, before it's kind of social media in person, but like now I've been so cold turkey on social media.
Right.
You know, I might, you know, if we walking down, I might, you know, in the grocery store or something. Then,
right.
You know, try to keep it like that.
That's like the best place because you can see what kind of food they buy, all that. That's the best place. Low key, brothers, y'all hear that? Grocery store. That's one of the best places. But now, you know, you ever thought about just keeping it a buck with women? Like, yo, I ain't gonna give you shit.
Man, like, I'm glad you brought that up because you know,
or at least you have to say it that way. Let me recant that. Or have you thought about telling them like how you are as a man?
Nah, because honestly, like even if like you ask my brothers around me, man, sometimes I think I'm like too honest. Like, man, off the rip, I tell them, man, let's skip all that, you know, what's your favorite color type question. Let's get to the real, man. You know, how your spending habits, your credit, like how you is around people. Like, are you man, get to the real stuff, man, because like all that stuff, it comes and, you know, to me, it don't matter right now. Like, I'd rather you show me who you is instead of the mask. So give me the right to choose if you want to still deal with me. Like,
hey, Flo, let me ask you this, bro. What part of Florida you in?
Oh, I'm in the Bird, St. Pete.
St. Pete, Florida, Rollo.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, you know, sometimes less is more. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes we pour a lot on to ladies at one time.
Yeah. And I had to learn that.
Tact.
I've been watching you since, you know, Brother Emmanuel days. So
okay.
And a couple of years ago, like the brother that was before that sister, like, yeah, man, it was like 2-3 years ago. I actually tested the Most High. Say, hey, man, if this, because I came out, you know, the Jehovah's Witness practice like 3 years ago. So I say, hey, man, if you the real deal, man, show me, you know, the girl that I thought I was gonna lock in at the time, man, and I lost my friend. And like, I said, all right. And, you know, the average person would think that was the devil, man. But man, now the Most High said, okay, now all the stuff you thought you done built on your own, I'm gonna wipe that table off. Then I'm gonna put my own stuff on the table. And ever since then, yeah, you know, attacks come, tribulations come, but other than that, man, I ain't been complaining, man.
Right, absolutely. No, I totally understand, man. Just keep your eyes on the prize, focus on the goal. You know, it ain't a bad idea to scale back a little bit when it comes to, you know, throwing everything out there. But you can throw some breadcrumbs to let these women know what type of man you are, that you don't lead with your pockets. That's a start. There's a lot of guys out here who lead with their pockets.
Yeah.
And you can understand why women are opportunists and they jugging on them guys. But, you know, the man who is about something, he'll show himself, man. You got plenty of time, bro. So, you know, stay focused on the goals. They'll come. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
They ain't going nowhere, bro. But look, all praises to the Almighty, man. Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you for joining. All right. Peace. Yeah, man. So this been another New Breed exclusive broadcast. All praises to the Almighty, man. I'm glad y'all joined. We had an interesting discussion today. You know, nobody really contested what I said, but watch, I guarantee after the broadcast is over, we're going to go down to the damn comment section. It never fails, bro. It pisses me off. Damn it. It never fails, bro. I'll be like, yo, I'm opening up dialogue. I'm trying to leave no stone unturned. And then like 2 hours later, y'all going to look in the comment section. All the modern women just came out of nowhere, calling me all kind of names, say I'm a chauvinist, that I'm talking about abusing women. Like they just come out of nowhere, bro. But they never there when I'm inviting them. But it is what it is, man. All praises to the Most High. Thank y'all for catching another broadcast. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay safe out here. Yeah, exactly, Heidi. I tell them speak now, forever hold your peace. Anyway, turn those post notification bells on so you can get videos as they being uploaded. As you can see, I'm building this platform up. So let's get to it. Help a brother out. If y'all like the content, support it. All you gotta do is share it, like it. Tell everybody about it. Be like, yo, New Breed Universal. Y'all think New Breed Global Truth good? Nah, man. New Breed Universal be going in. He be bringing people in. It be on point. It be detailed. It's more personable. You know, that's his commercial. New Breed Global, that's like his commercial junk. This is how you advertise it. This is commercial junk right there. That's where he doing news and whatever. Nah, New Breed Universal, he be more raw with it. Just talking about the real deal. Straight up. But anyway, thank y'all. Y'all stay safe out here. Shalom and peace.